Welcome to the Tri-State Grain Growers Convention, and I'm pleased to see the grain grower associations of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho joining together to celebrate the industry and to discuss solutions to some of our most pressing issues. Appreciate the opportunity to share a few words with you, and I'd like to focus on drought recovery efforts and agriculture's role in climate change mitigation and adaptation. Now, there's no question America's agricultural producers are on the front line facing the impacts of climate crisis. Drought in the western and northwestern U.S. has been and continues to be relentless. In response, USDA has not only delivered the standard full suite of disaster recovery programs, but has looked for program flexibilities and new programs to assist in recovery. For example, USDA invested $15 million for new drought pilots to assist agricultural producers impacted by worsening drought conditions, including block grants for the first pilot to provide relief to impacted California and Oregon producers and the Klamath River Basin. The Emergency Assistance for Livestock, Honeybees, and Farm-Raised Fish program was enhanced to help cover the cost of transporting feed for livestock that rely on grazing. And we've implemented and authorized emergency crop insurance procedures to help agricultural producers impacted by extreme drought conditions. This is allowing assurance companies to accept delayed notices of loss in certain situations, to streamline paperwork, and to reduce the number of required representative samples when damage is consistent. And recently, USDA issued the third and final Wildfire and Hurricane Indemnity Plus, or WIP Plus, program payments, bringing the total WIP Plus for assistance for producers impacted by the 2018 and 2019 natural disaster events to more than $3 billion. USDA is now turning its full attention to delivering assistance for drought provided by Congress in the recent continuing resolution that was passed by Congress just a few weeks ago. Congress provided $10 billion to assist agricultural producers in recovery from eligible disaster events that occurred in calendar years 2020 and 2021. Now, this includes $750 million specifically for livestock producers for losses incurred due to drought or wildfires in calendar year 2021. And we're actively working to implement the programs to deliver this assistance in coordination with the $500 million from the Commodity Credit Corporation. Together, these resources will enable USDA's farm production and conservation agencies to deliver much-needed relief to farmers and livestock producers and design drought resilience efforts responsive to the magnitude of the climate crisis. We're also encouraging all agricultural producers to mitigate their losses through USDA's risk management programs and products. In the long term, we're focused on positioning and empowering farmers and ranchers as the key to solving the climate crisis. Agriculture has significant opportunities to mitigate its climate impact through practices and technologies that both reduce carbon emissions and sequester carbon in the soil. Putting more carbon in the soil increases fertility and water holding capacity, making those soils more drought resistant. Reducing climate impacts also helps address water scarcity challenges in the West. Agriculture also has significant opportunities for increasing productivity and profitability through the further adoption of climate-smart practices. That's why at USDA, we're expanding opportunities for climate-smart agriculture that is farmer-focused, locally led, and centered on voluntary incentives. We recently announced the new Climate-Smart Agriculture and Forestry Partnership initiative to expand climate-smart agricultural markets and encourage practices, technologies, and approaches that increase sequestration, build climate resilience, and enhance productivity. Guided by science, USDA will support a set of pilot projects that provide incentives to implement climate-smart conservation practices on working lands and to quantify and monitor the carbon and greenhouse gas benefits associated with those practices. We're also strengthening the ability of USDA's existing conservation and working lands programs to deliver climate benefits alongside other environmental and economic benefits. And we're targeting climate research to accelerate the development of science-based solutions. I know that you're not short on challenges across the industry, and particularly in the face of climate change and extreme weather. At USDA, we're committed to both short-term recovery and mitigation efforts, and to do what we can to ensure a future where farming is profitable and resilient. Thank you for all that you do, not only for the Northwest, but for our entire country. And I wish you a meaningful and productive convention.